That was crazy. Went off like a shotgun. Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm on the island out in the middle of the pond, and I don't know if you can see over here, but that willow tree is it's dying, and we just had a big windstorm the last week, and a bunch of branches fell down over here, and so pretty much the inevitable is going to happen. This whole thing's going to fall, and it's actually leaning into the pond. So what I'm going to try and do here today and this weekend is kind of methodically take it apart with a pole saw and chainsaw, and do my best to try and not lose it in the pond. There are some pipes that are in the pond, so if this thing falls into the pond, then definitely going to break some pipes. So why don't you come along for the ride? Hey, this is what we do on the weekend. Okay, branch number one down with success. Cut that thing perfectly where it actually, as it started to break, kind of caught itself and swung onto the island. Didn't even hit the water at all. It's pretty lucky. You know, I actually think that if I wrap a rope around this thing and go bring it all the way across the pond and hook it to the tractor, I think I might be able to pull it down. That'll save a lot of cutting. So I'm going to try that, and we'll see what happens. Worst case, I don't get it down, I'll start cutting it up with my pole saw, and then I'll have to chainsaw it. But it was shaking. I mean, it's not even in the ground hardly, so we'll see. I have a long rope, but it's going to stretch. I got some straps, so we'll see what happens, but come along for the ride. So I got this strap up around the branch, as you saw. Now I'm just going to take this rope. I think it's 100 feet, and man, I hope it reaches all the way across the pond. But I'll just tie this up. We'll go from there. Just a little 2/2 hitch slip knot. Probably not the right knot, but it's not going to go anywhere once I start pulling on it, so I know that. All right, so let me go see if I can get this across the pond. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I got these 2 straps here, and I'm gonna put them on these hooks here, and just kind of strap it across the bucket to distribute the weight. So when I'm pulling on this thing, I'm not just pulling on one side of this bucket. I don't want to tweak anything or bend anything, so I'm going to tie the rope to the middle right in here, and the rope's pretty long, so I might be able to possibly double it up, at least on this end, and also I might put a cinder block on the rope too, just in case that thing snaps. I got some cinder blocks over there, little ones. And if the rope breaks and the cinder block is tied to it, or at least threaded through it, it's likely it'll distribute the tension, the energy, I guess you would say, in the on the rope, and it won't come straight back at me. It'll probably get caught up into the cinder block. So I don't know if I've ever seen anybody do that before, but it seems like seems logical. That's close. Okay, well, that was successful. Check this out. Dude, this tree is gnarly. I mean, still got a little bit of work to do on this one, but taking that whole thing down. Made short work of that. Let's see how tight this knot got. Oh, that's not tight at all. I mean, it was tight, it wasn't gonna slip, but what I'm saying is it didn't tighten up to a point where I can't get it undone. That's what I love about this rope. I think this is a 500-pound rated, and I specifically got this for doing this type of stuff. I have a eucalyptus tree. I don't know if you guys know about eucalyptus, but they grow back. So you cut them down and they grow back, and so every few years I cut it down and it grows back. And the beauty of the eucalyptus is that you can use it for firewood, and it burns really hot, smells really good. And so but it's located very close to the edge of the property near a fence line, and so I never want, obviously don't want the tree to fall into the fence. So I bought this rope some years ago to just tie it to the tractor and just make sure that it goes the right way. Man, that thing was in there. Oh, well, this might, wasn't anticipating that getting stuck in there. Look at that. Well, the easiest way to pull that out is with the tractor. Still hooked up, so what I'll do is take the other end of this, hook this in here. If I can get it in there, okay. Hook that in there, and then this is still tied to the tractor. And I'll just back the tractor up, should tighten up and come free. So we'll see what happens. Well, that was freaking crazy, dude. That was crazy. Went off like a shotgun, and the rope went clear across the pond. You can see where my tractor is, though. It's kind of around the corner, so I wasn't too concerned about it around that tree. But it grabbed the pole saw and just lifted it up and threw it into the pond too. It's crazy. I mean, I'm not surprised. Come on. It had some significant tension on it. And good news is that, except for this 20 feet right here, all the ropes on the other side of the pond all coiled up. Hey, gotta look at the positive side of things. Way cool. Look at that. Of course, the beautiful sunset. It's fitting for this tree. I feel like chainsawing right now. I'm excited. Okay, so day 2 on this tree project, this willow tree. I got a couple hours here this morning on Sunday, so I'm going to come out here and cut this up into manageable sections It is an island, so I got to get it across the bridge over here, all the wood. So I'm going to be doing that by hand with a cart, and then bringing it over to the burn pile. So goal today is to just chop up this tree. I also need to get the rest of it down. Half of it's still standing. So Okay, so here's the plan. Got all that cut up, so that's about half the tree, and now I've got the rest of it to try and get down. I mentioned there's pipes that they start over there and they actually run underwater here, so there's a sprinkler system on the island, and then there's a pipe that runs all the way along here to that fountain, aeration fountain over there. So it's not the worst thing if I break it. It's just another job that I need to fix. So if I cut this tree, definitely this is a weak spot right here. Obviously you can see right through the tree, but if I cut it here, it's definitely going to fall, and probably likely it's going to hit one of these pipes. So I think what I want to do is, there's a crotch right up there. I want to get the strap around that crotch, tie it to my tractor over there, and then pull on it. And as I cut from here, I want to see this top kind of twist and fall down more in this area right here. So it's a little bit dangerous because I'm going to have some tension on this. So this part could kick out, or as I'm pulling this way, this bottom half could kick towards me because I'm going to be standing over here while I'm cutting it. So I just need to be careful, but we'll see if that works. If it doesn't, worst case, falls in the pond. We'll see what happens. I could drag it out. All right, well, I'm gonna get the straps all on there and see what happens. So for these small engines that take the 50-to-1 mixture, years ago I used to mix my own gas and oil, even octane, bring the octane up to, I think it's supposed to be 94. So, and but what happens is it starts to eat out and corrode the all the fuel lines, and so some years ago I started using this pre-mixed gas and oil. It contains no ethanol, so I guess the ethanol that's in the regular fuel eats all the, like I said, the gas lines and maybe the carburetors, stuff like that. So been going with this. It's not that expensive. I have this is a can I use to pour into the small engines, but I buy it in a gallon, and I think it runs like 20-25 bucks. Of course it lasts a long time, so highly recommend. They make this is VP small engine fuels, but there's all different kinds out there. Of course, if you don't use a chainsaw, you may not know, but that's a gas and oil mixture. And then this is the bar and chain lubricant. And if you don't know what a bar and chain is, it's that's the bar and this is the chain. So as you're using the chainsaw, this oil comes out onto the bar and chain to lube up the chain. And without that, you'd probably ruin your chainsaw.
Bye.